We should let Shawn say hi.
You're ready to give it up. Thanks. As you all know, you've been part of this story for the last 5 years, and it's been an absolutely incredible gift to our community. And looking back, when this plant was empty, Icon International owned it. There was fear of demolition. There was certainly not a lot of hope of something coming along that would fill it. And then Bruce and his team came to council and said, we think Health Canada is going to change the rules around medical cannabis, and we want the Hershey plant, we're going to grow some medical cannabis there. And initial forecast, 100 employees, occupy a third of the plant, and to stand here today, and there's no way we ever could have imagined this type of development in our community. So you look at the world's largest producer of cannabis, $14 billion market cap today. And I can start counting by ones now. It would take me 444 years to get to 14 billion. I mean, you can't fathom that number. So the largest, headquartered in probably the smallest community of any licensed producer. So what that impact here is far greater than the impact anywhere else in Canada and anywhere else in the world. And I look across the room, and anytime I'm in this building, I see more and more people from town who are so excited to be able to have a great job with an incredible future in their hometown. And then I see other people who have chosen to move to Smiths Falls, and then others who have chosen to invest in our community, largely because of Canopy and Tweed being here. So we've been blessed like no other community in the country, and I can look back and think, is there anything else that could have came along over the last 5 years, anywhere in Ontario, anywhere in Canada, that would have created this kind of euphoria, this kind of investment in one place, probably $250 million, I assume, or somewhere around there, into our community. What does that mean for our future? Absolutely incredible. You've turned our frowns upside down. We couldn't be more excited. It's very exciting euphoric time, and we know we're just getting started as these guys go global. As they hire more people, I understand you need employees today, so those who are listening, get your applications in. We need more people working here, creating more innovation, more technology, and building a better future with consumables and everything else that we can't even imagine today. So really from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of everybody in our community and the broader community, we can't thank you guys enough for what you've done. You've truly changed our world, and there's no looking back at this stage. So thank you very much.
Yeah, so when you're growing cannabis, there's a rule for everything. If there's not a rule, you ask for it and they make one. So we needed to grow inside a building. That building had to be in a jurisdiction which actually contemplated converting an agricultural thing. You know, nobody wrote regs or a master plan for a community that said this is the place we'll grow cannabis in a building. And so we had to find a place that actually didn't call it a greenhouse, didn't call it a field, but converted an agri-input to something which is kind of like milk to chocolate. And there were only 2 places that we could find, when I used a law firm, that had bylaws that would work. One was here, one was down by the St. Lawrence River. And I found that because I almost bought a building in another community, and then they said you can't come here. And so it was a little bit of the bylaws and a little bit of the council saying, we don't really want them here. And so when we went to this one, I was very impressed. I presented, and we went all the way around, and everybody was in favor. And then the police chief said it would be much easier to keep track of one good one than to chase out all the bad ones. And it was a fairly brief meeting, unanimously approved. And the best thing that came out of the meeting is they also said what I didn't know, which is the people that owned it had asked on a couple of occasions if they could demolish it. When you're negotiating purchasing a building, when you find out that piece of information, it does improve your position. That was a very good meeting.
Jordan?
Oh, yes.
Hey Bruce, Aaron with Civilized. Which countries do you think are looking at us closest today, on a day like today, that you think are going to be fast movers?
It's a good question. So, British media, I think, broke from a discussion of Brexit, briefly, to talk about what's going on in the colony of Canada. And they did so because in July, they got a wake-up call. that the nation wasn't cold-hearted and didn't expect people to suffer just because they haven't regulated an ingredient. And so this topic is actually making its way out there in a way that I would have predicted in January.
Sure.
So that's been a big one. The U.S. is really interested, but I think for the most part it's really challenging for them to focus on what we're doing and how that could affect what they could do. But we hosted Bloomberg and have had a bunch of coverage in the U.S. Because it's pretty remarkable when they look north and say innovation headquartered in Canada. That's not the normal headline. Yeah, so I'd say those two were the big topics today.